So after the buzz of the last episode, winning promotion to League 2 via the playoffs, it's absolutely fantastic. It's now time to do an end of season review. Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 14 of Turmoil at Tranmere. And yeah, it's like I said before, it's going to be the end of season review. I've got a load of notes written down to remind me what to do and not forget anything. So let's just get to it, shall we? Right, so we'll show you how it all happened, really, the old promotion, because it wasn't all plain sailing, as you're aware, if you have been here from the beginning. Friendlies, I watch them all. I always do. I like to analyse and see what's working, what isn't. I prefer that thing, because I know there's a lot of people that will have their assistant manager take them. And I suppose it makes sense to speed up time, but I do like to make sure everything's right. But it was going quite well with the tactic. It was the one that I transferred across from the Leeds beta save, and it was working quite well. However, first two games of the season we got beat, which was a bit of a wake-up call, a little bit of a shame. But I stuck with it, and we ended up winning 5 games in a row. And I think it got us up to about 6th, something like that. And we only conceded 1 goal, so I thought, oh, it's working. I was really tempted. I nearly put it on Steam to see if anyone wanted to test it out. I'm glad I didn't, because the next 7 games we didn't win a single game. We drew 4 and lost 3. After that, we had a bit of a mixed sort of results sort of thing, sort of coinciding with the fact that Steve McNulty was playing. I was playing him because he was the team leader. He was the big guy, the chief, the guy that everyone goes to with all the problems. But his pace was 5 and he was shit slow, and the ball just got hoofed over the top of him, and we conceded so many goals. And even after I dropped him, we still did that to some degree. We got to like this sort of area here where we had Gateshead, Macclesfield and Maidstone, and we dropped points against them, and I started toying a little bit with the tactics, a little bit, well, tinkering a little bit, changing it up, maybe just going for a more direct approach. It didn't work. We got beat by Macclesfield, I think it was. Went back to the original tactic, beat Maidstone 2-1, and I thought, right, we're hopefully back on the right track again. And then Woking came to town and beat us, and then the board called us in. We needed 5 out of 5 games. We needed 10 points, and it was very nervy. We won the first 3, coinciding with teams who could say, you know, revenge please, because they beat us earlier in the season, like Torquay. So it was a tricky tie, but we managed to beat them, and then AFC Fylde, we beat them and put us in a great position, 9 points out of the first 3 games of the 5. And with, obviously, if you remember, we live com the guys a game, and we got beat 2-1. Rockarea, familiar looking name. And then that led us to do the next game as a live com against AFC Fylde. Unfortunately, we managed to beat them, and this coincided with the fact that we changed a few little things in the initial tactic for this level. We had to adjust it because it wasn't going to be the same as what it would be for Championship level, especially with the pace differentiation of the defenders. So you had like our fastest defenders were 10, so they weren't that quick. Like the ones at Leeds, I think it's 11, 13, and maybe 12. I don't know. So a little bit quicker. So I thought I'll try dropping a defensive line, and we didn't concede anywhere near as many goals after that point for all the rest of the season. I also adjusted the shots because we were having lots of shots, but they were going from like the corner flag, throwing, whatever. So I switched both wingers, well, put both wingers and the box-to-box midfielder on shoot less often, because they were the main culprits, mainly the wingers. But yeah, it just wasn't fun. But after that initial saving the skin, I mean, we drew the very next game against Barrow, but we ended up going on a decent run, to be fair. We did lose a couple of games. We lost 2 in the league in total from that point on. We lost in the FA Trophy 4th round against relegated Halifax, like you do, you know. But we had some outstanding results. You know, Bromley 4-0, Macclesfield 3-0. Notice the nils here. 3-1 against Gateshead. Gateshead, the team in the playoffs. Obviously, the big setback was Maidstone beating us 3-0. That was the one sticking out like issue. But then after that, you know, 3-0, 2-0, 2-0, 3-1, 4-1, 3-2. Bit of a weird one, that one. They only had like about 4 chances all game, and they scored 2 of them. Aldershot beat them 2-0. Then we drew 0-0 with FC Halifax, who seemed to be a bit of a bogey team for us for some reason. And then we drew Hartlepool 3-3, but we did rest quite a few of the players with the playoffs coming up shortly. Then obviously we conceded 2 against Leyton Orient. That was a tight game. You saw that live. You did also see Hartlepool live, and of course you saw the final at Wembley against Gateshead, which obviously buzzing that James Allaby could come on and score 2 goals and send us up. What a hero. So going into the squad, I'm just going to look at like the top 5 players for certain things. This is basically Loki Doki squad view. You can get it on Steam. But basically, we're going to start off with app appearance makers, and we're going to start off with the goalkeeper, ever present all the way through. Did a really good job in the end. Averaged 7.02 as well, which is fantastic. 55 appearances for him. The Hound had 49 appearances, Connor Kirby 32 with 2 sub appearances, and then Adam Buxton and Jay McEvely both making 39 appearances with 1 off the bench each. Very well done from them, or for them, should I say. Top goal scorers, it's a bit of a weird one this, because we did have Mangan who got, I think, 9 goals as well, but Norwood got 13, ended up being the top scorer despite all my bitching and moaning about him. He ended up with the most goals. 12 goals for Alabi. He largely featured, I say off the bench, but he probably featured less off the bench than Norwood, so I can't really say that. But yeah, he did really well. Correa, awesome. 11 goals in 9 starts, 9 off the bench. Couldn't speak any more highly of how he's done this since coming in. Divine Green, 10 goals from him, from someone who's got 6 finishing. There you go, 6 finishing. So very pleased with him. And Devante Jacobs picking up 9 goals, and well, yeah, 9 goals along with Jack Dunn. So very pleasing with them. Moving on to assists, we've got 9 assists for Divine Green, Jack Dunn, 8 for Kirby and Jacobs, and then 7 from Brian Atambani. And then the main one really, which is average rating. Raul Correa, since coming in, has been the best player, but overall, over the whole course of the season, Jack Dunn, 7.3 average rating is fantastic. Gary Clegg made a few appearances, got 7.2. Connor Kirby, though, with the most appearances, got 7.19, which I think is absolutely superb. Has been my player of the season. If Jay McEvely ran off the top 5 with 7.14 as well, that's fantastic from him. For a centre-back who's aging, he's 33, signing on for another year, his pace is starting to decline though, so how much he'll feature next season remains to be seen. Quickly though, we'll have a look at the quick passes, the key passes. Jack Dunn, a country mile ahead of everyone else, 95 key passes, 63 from Kirby, 54 from Jacobs, 45 from Divine Green, and 39 from Atambani. Key headers, as you'd expect, probably the two main centre-backs, 28 and 26, and Alabi winning a fair share with 23, with Divine Green and Grandison getting 17 and 16 respectively. Key tackles though, we got the Hound with 67, leading the way with McEvely with 55, Grandison and Buxton with 26 and 17 respectively, and 3 guys with 11. So yeah, that's that basically. So a couple of things just to mention is I've got quite a lot of players going out of contracts basically, and I'm probably going to let every single one of these go, barring manage to speak to Jack Dunn again after getting promoted, and it looks like we might have agreed terms on about 1,500 a week. It's on 1,000, so I've also signed on Adam Buxton. Well, he's not signed on yet, but he's just like looking at agreeing it basically, and he is on 1,500 at the minute. He was our highest earner. I've got him down to 1,000, so they balance each other out. So I think that's some good business there. And Buxton, it says he's a good player for League 2, so whether he starts, we'll have to wait and see, but he's definitely going to be able to do a job. I'm more than confident of that. Next thing I want to look at is like the end of season awards. Unfortunately, Raul Correa didn't get the top goal scorer, because he did get quite a few for guys. I think he got 13 and then 11 for us, so he got 24 goals in total, but he lost out to Danny Johnson and Bruno Andrade, who got 28 goals and 26 respectively. Our end of the season awards, Jack Dunn won it by quite some distance. Connor Kirby came second, McEvely third. Romario Vieira got the goal of the season. Let's check it out. So this was the goal of the season for us, and it's that one where he casually strolls to it and just caresses it to the top left hand corner. Fantastic goal. But otherwise, signing of the season, of course, was Gary Clegg. Fantastic signing in my eyes, and look how he's improving as well. He signed his contract extension, so the wantedness has gone. He'd already agreed a contract ages ago, but he couldn't sign it until he was 17. He's only just turned 17. Young player of the season was Jack Dunn, which always makes me wonder why they do that if they win both of them. But I suppose if he's going to clean up, he's going to clean up in style. Then we're going to have a look at my profile. Basically, I don't know, I think I showed it right at the very beginning. These are the things that he had. I suggested for Tranmere. Said use suggested for Tranmere, and this is what it came up with. I think I knocked one of them a little bit lower because I thought that the coaching attributes were going to be far too high. But I always like to have high motivating. Management's decent as well, and tactical. That's for lower level. I think I knew that we already had someone decent for fitness. or at least someone in mind for fitness. I can't remember exactly. I did a beta save before just to see what they were like, and I knew there were people out there that I could get for fitness, because that's normally the hard one to cover. But I did put a little bit into fitness as well as tactical, but everything else was pretty much on 1s and maybe 2s over here. So yeah, this is us, and yeah, that's all I can say really. So we're going to have a look at the tactical lowdown, and as you can see here, basically use the same tactic all the way through, excuse me, just with a couple of adjustments here and there. Similar rated teams, there's no one higher rated than us, because apparently we must have been like the highest rated team. But yeah, we scored 25 goals against them and conceded 18, but we conceded quite a lot, but still scored quite a lot against some smaller rated teams. So overall, in the way it worked out, I think it was pretty reliable, if I'm being completely honest. And just briefly, you can kind of see a summary there of how we did against all the other ones. Next, we're going to have a look at the dynamics, and you can see here we're in a good place really with everything really. We're not maxed out or anything like that, far from it. These guys are all going to be leaving anyway. Hierarchy, if you look at this here, it's changed so much. I mean, the team leader is Scott Davis. He was just, I think he was just like an influential player at the beginning. 17 players support me, 17 players have no real opinion of his, and yeah, all the main ones support. Even McNulty, despite not playing, he's had a few injuries, but he's lost his position as a team leader, mainly because he hasn't really been playing. So looking at the finances now, and there's a few things to say. That amount is nowhere near as high as what it was. That's purely for the fact that the gate receipts from Wembley has really helped us out, but it hasn't got us over back into the black, far from it. So we've still got something to sort out there. Transfer budget is exactly the same. We've got 5% of transfer revenue made available, which is appalling. So even if we sell someone, we're not going to get that money to spend. Wage budget, though, of course, was underspending massively. We're currently committed to spending 23,423 a week, which a lot of players are going to be leaving shortly. So we're going to have basically double that amount to get in better players for the new season. There's a couple of loanees that we've got in that are out of contract, and I'm hopeful I might be able to sign them on for the League 2 season, for the League 2 campaign, if you will. But looking at like the income and expenditure, as I can see here, the gate receipts this month is massive compared to last month. That's, like I said, because of the Wembley sort of issue. So if you want to have a quick look at that and have a gander and see what you think, as to with the expenditure, I won't go into too much in depth in terms of that, but if you want to pause it, by all means, have a gander. The VAT seems to be a big stinging point at one point. 120,024 quid, just like feels like someone's bent you over, got some lube out, and shafted you bareback. So it's not fun. Moving on, we've also got a bank loan which is going to be getting paid off until 2025. But it's only 20 grand or 21 grand a month, so I'm not too concerned about that. We've got sponsors and others. We've got a few little things here which will probably change, but we've got 3 years and 2 years yet, so it's going to be a while before anything changes there. And the projection, of course, this is what I was a bit worried about, looking at this projection here. It's actually a little bit less, but saying that is about roughly the same. It's interesting because the expenditure is more than the turnover, so we need to look to rectify that. And as it stands, we're not spending anywhere near enough money. We've got to hope that we're going to get some, season ticket sales and other normal sales like gate receipts and whatever. With us being a higher league, obviously, I don't think we were filling out the actual stadium. Let's have a quick look, actually. Yeah, if I look at the last game at home, 6,067 was the attendance against second in the league, a potential opponent in the playoffs. And yeah, that's all it was, and our actual stadium holds nearly 3 times more than that. So we need to start filling that in order to try and balance the books, in my opinion. So hopefully with us getting promoted, that will help in that regard. So looking forward, and these are the teams that we're going to be facing next season, minus these 3, Luton, Carlisle and Coventry. The deluded goat will be buzzing his tits off, as will Fry Badger. Carlisle going up as well, he'll be absolutely chuffed with that. Coventry, don't know any Coventry fans unfortunately. And then one of these 4 here, so they're currently in the middle of that in the playoffs at this point. Most surprisingly, we're not going to be playing Crewe Alexandra, the team with the well-renowned youth academy. I mean, if we have a look at him, it don't look bad, does it, to say that he's 16 years old. Young win. He's not the quickest, young striker, not the quickest, but look at everything else. Definitely could do something with him, definitely 100%. So yeah, they're going to be coming down, so I'm going to be looking at some of these players that are coming down. Maybe I might be able to pick 1 or 2 of them up as we're passing them on the way back. And the other thing to look at is who is in the division below going down. So looking at who we're going to be facing from League 1 coming down is Doncaster, Walsall, Bristol Rovers and Plymouth Argyle. Now Plymouth Argyle, they're showing why 39 minus goal difference, and to some degree, Doncaster and Bristol Rovers in the same boat. But Walsall, -1. -1. It's like going down with like positive. It's almost as bad as Huddersfield Town going up with negative goal difference. It's like going down with positive nearly. But anyway, that's who we're going to be facing next season. So first of all, I asked for an affiliate club and they said yes. Then I asked for a senior affiliate and they said yes. Whether anything happens from them, because sometimes you ask and you never get it, which is a pain in the dick. Because if I go to the boardroom, you can see already we had the senior affiliate cancelled right at the beginning of the season. Now, as money kind of went away, I didn't bother doing anything else because I didn't think I needed to. Right, so I'm just going to show you this screen now. We had to get pretty much every single member of staff. We had Michael Jackson as the assistant manager, and I think under 18's manager, and maybe one other member of staff. I had to get everyone else in practically. The only person I replaced was the head of youth development, because his training, basically, yes, he was 14 for working with youngsters, and judging player potential was 8, which wasn't terrible, but in a coaching sense, everything was 1. So I had to change him, which is why I got in. You'll see him shortly. Bill Hendry, I believe it is. But yeah, all these guys, we didn't have anyone. It was a slight increase. So we had Charlie Palmer, 13 and 14. Can't say fairer than that, really. It's not bad. Sports scientist, fitness coach here, 17 fitness. I didn't think he was bad. Gordon Ewan, probably the best person you could ever wish for. Need South Africa on though. Need South Africa. Don't know why. I had basically all the continents and just players of like national reputation, and he came up and look at him, and all he wants to be was an under 18s coach. Look at him, he's an absolute machine. But anyway, yeah, enough of that. Enough hard on for him. Klaus Lundekvan, remember him from Southampton? His defender's actually gone up 2. It was on 12 when I first signed him. I got him just because it was Klaus Lundekvan, and I remember him being a defender. Trevor Hepburn was another goalkeeping coach this time, 12, 12 and 13, not terrible. John Aldridge, as mentioned right at the beginning of the series, I got him in as the director of football. Mick Byrne, he came in very decent, well-rounded, could do a lot of job roles, but without being spectacular, but decent at attacking, and level of discipline was pretty decent. Obviously, motivating one's a bit of an issue. Then I brought in Mick Gooding from Thatcham, and under 18's assistant manager. Look how good he is. Aside from man management and judging player abilities and judging players, but for training purposes, he's absolutely class. Luke Anthony came as a physio, 20 physiotherapy, 20. What a hero. You know, we've got Nathan Rigg, sports scientist. Sports science 14's not bad. So Bill Hendry got in, youth head of youth development. This is the guy that replaced the other guy. Working with youngsters, 20. Judging player potential, 16 with the 15 for the ability one, and he still only brought in like really half decent players. But I'm guessing it's not just him, it's based on the club as well and your reputation, as far as I'm aware. I'm not entirely sure if that's completely the case, because I've seen other people get top notch, and I mean top notch chuffing players at the lowest of the low levels. It's ridiculous. But anyway, you can see, even though he's only got like 10s, it's better than the 1s, but he could have had 2s and it'd still been better. But anyway, moving on, we've got Liam Kershaw, was the under 18 physio, also with 20 physiotherapy. Could not believe my luck, no one had snapped him up. Peter Mead as well, judging player ability and potential 14s, and then him, and you can see why I've got him in. He's a under 18s coach, and yeah, looks very, very good. 14, working with youngsters, obviously could be better, but I'm still happy with his all-round coaching style, if you like. Other than that, Micky Mellon, this is who we replaced. You saw me earlier, and this is what I replaced. So he's obviously far better than me. And we're going to be coming up against him next season, because he is the manager of Colchester United, who finished 17th, I think, in the league. So that's going to be very interesting indeed. I have a feeling this is a typo in the game, because has he really been there since 2006 when he's got all these other job roles in between? I'm going to hazard a guess that he probably hasn't, but if anyone's got any information in the comments to let us know about that, let us know, because I know that I don't know if he's held in as high regard as what he was last season, because they aren't performing as well in real life this season. But yeah, he looks really good on this, but I'm not entirely sure about all his history. But that is all the coaches, and as a result, this is what they look like in terms of the coaches. So as you can see, we're really bare. I've asked for another coach for this reason alone, because look at this. The first team coaching is absolutely dog turd, basically. It's not appealing at all. So I needed someone else to at least come in and do the ball control, which is what I've got. I've got a guy coming in who's got like 14 and 11, I think, for mental and well, I'll show you. So I've got this guy coming in to take over the ball control, which I believe is... I think it tells you now, actually, when you're checking him out. So mental and technical, I believe, is ball control. So he's coming in to do that for the first team. So he's going to be pretty decent. Guyanese. He'll be best mates with Grandison because they're both from the same country. So that's nice. We've got Phil Potts coming in as a chief scout just to improve things. So we've got a scout we started off with. We've got 10 and 10. So he's just coming in to replace him and improve it a little bit. Data analysts, not entirely sure what they bring to the table, but the one I've currently got has got 4, 4 and 5, so he's a lot better than that. So Martin Hudson is going to be coming in as the under-18s manager, I think. I've got him as a coach there, but I'm almost certain I selected manager, but I could be incorrect. But he's obviously coming in is a lot better than what we've got. The guy who's going out is running out of contract in like a couple of months' time. But yeah, looking at the under-18s training, and look at the coaches, there's a lot more options, and overall, it's a lot better. There's not a lot of people doing it. There's not like I like to have 2 people on each one where possible, but obviously you can't until you start replacing one of us and can start putting me like in the background, just helping out, just to take a little bit of the workload off. What I'm hoping is we're going to get an under-23 side, ideally, so we can actually get some players that aren't playing some game time, because that's one thing that made me very reluctant to play quite a few of the players who had not played for a while because they were not fit. Just quickly, just look at the training individual. I've just got it literally just set just to the roles that we're actually playing, what we're using. I try not to go very heavy if possible. I'll put them on like their own thing. For instance, like I've got Steve Ward here who's got quickness as an additional focus. The only other thing I would say is that if they kick off, I'd usually just take it off. I'm not entirely sure how to get around that. We've got the medical centre, and we're just going to have a look at the injury history. Now, most injuries, I don't know if this is now, but we're the highest at the minute. We've got 4 injuries from training, which kind of is a bit of a pain. But yeah, you can see all these here. Kind of all the injuries, it's scrolling all the way down there. A lot of slight injuries, 2 and 3 days and what have you. But it's up here that we've had quite a lot of. You think here, 4 week plus, you've got 17 injuries where they've been 4 or 5 week onwards, and it's bad as that. And some of them quite a few times, like you got James Wallace up here, 223 days out of 365, 4 injuries he's had. Ben Tollett's had 214 days out with 4 injuries. Mario Vieira with 125 days with 2 injuries. So we've had the setbacks, and I'm not going to lie, it probably did coincide with our poor form, with especially James Wallace at the time. He would have been a starter for sure, but it wasn't to be. So finally, just to wrap this whole episode up, hopefully you have enjoyed it as well. We're just going to quickly just have a look at who's been doing well in all the top divisions. We're going to have a look here, and Middlesbrough pissed the league apparently, with Sunderland apparently going up alongside him, even though they're struggling in real life. And then one of these 4 will be going up: Norwich, Fulham, Aston Villa or Ipswich. The games haven't been played yet, so we'll have to revisit that after, in the next episode basically, maybe, if I remember. Wolves, who were walking away with it in real life, finished 11th, which is crazy paving. And obviously Leeds United, 13th. Still in the job though, Christensen. I'm not surprised because, and yes, I know it's not the top division, but obviously it is because it's got Leeds in it, so yeah. You know what I mean. But anyway, let's just have a look at the competitions. They are in the final. I mentioned it last time against Chelsea. Probably not going to win it. Again, I'll show you the next. If Leeds win it, I'll probably no doubt tell you about it. But if they don't, then I'll probably forget. But I'm not expecting anything. I wouldn't even expect us to get anywhere near the final in real life. So I'm just buzzing that they got to the final. Got to Wembley. It's fantastic. But looking at the Premier League. So we'll start off here anyway. Premier League. Arsenal have won the league, which is a bit surprising, but not as surprising as Bournemouth in 5th place, ahead of Liverpool and Man City. What the hell? Chelsea finished 2nd, Man United 3rd, Tottenham 4th. They're pretty much expected, but Bournemouth, wow. Eddie Howe will be getting England manager's job, surely. Teams that went down: Watford, Brighton and Huddersfield. Brighton and Huddersfield may be expected. Watford may be a bit of a surprise, considering that Watford are usually the most OP team, with it being a Watford fan in Miles that makes the game, or is in charge of the, in charge of the company that does the game. So yeah, I'm very surprised with that one. Other than that, we'll have a look at who won the League Cup. So Man United actually won the League Cup against Liverpool 1-0. So quickly, we'll just have a quick look now, and Atletico Madrid, they won the league, surprisingly. They seem to have done that in quite a few. Like, they did it in the Melite save as well, that they won it. Barcelona finished 2nd, Real Madrid 3rd, and Sevilla 4th. Serie A, we've got it there. Juventus look like they've won it. They've not actually got a table for whatever reason. Okay, fair enough. The German First Division was won by Bayern. Looking at this, with Leipzig 2nd and 3rd place with Dortmund. So that was interesting. And then look at Ligue 1, or whatever you want to call it. Monaco won it with Paris Saint-Germain 2nd and Nice finishing 3rd. So yeah, these are the leagues that I haven't got loaded, so that's probably why it's not showing like this. But anyway, so that's it for this episode. Hopefully I've enjoyed it. It's been a bit of a one-off, the end of season review. I've done a little bit more in-depth one that I normally do. Obviously, of course, I just want to say a massive thank you for all the support I've had on the series so far. And hopefully we can continue in the same vein going into the 2nd season, because it'd be great to have you on board as we take on the Football League. So yeah, hopefully, if you have enjoyed this video, why not go ahead and press that like button, it'd be greatly appreciated. As would be subscribing if you're indeed new to the channel. And hopefully you can join us for the next one, which will be in League 2. Massively looking forward to it. Still on a bit of a high. It is a day after I'm recording this, but I'm still on a bit of a high. Got a bit of a bollocking from Alice for getting a bit loud, but I don't care. We're in League 2, and hopefully you can join us for that on the next video. Until then, I'll see you then. Bye bye.